And good Saturday morning. At least I think it's a good Saturday morning. Good wet, damp Saturday morning with some heavy rain coming maybe later on in the day.
Yeah, I almost got lost in the Bermuda Triangle on the way up here. Huh? It's weird. Yeah.
I thought you were usually in the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, all the time?
You knew the way out. You knew the way
okay.
to navigate.
Okay.
The
You say I'm permanently in the Bermuda Triangle.
Which is better, the Bermuda Triangle or the Twilight Zone? Which one would you rather be in?
They both have their challenges. I don't know. I'll go with Rod Serling and the Twilight Zone.
Yep. Well, there's a whole lot more episodes. Not a whole lot of information out there about the Bermuda Triangle.
No.
I'm guessing nobody wants to go do a documentary.
Yeah, for fear of never returning.
May not get back.
Mm-hmm.
May not get back.
And then they find their found footage, later on and make the documentary.
We ever heard the number of planes that have disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle?
I don't know. That's a good trivia question.
It is. Yeah. What is that number up to now? And Bermuda's a vacationing. I don't know if you'd call it a hot spot or nothing, but I guess it is.
Well, yeah, it's part of that whole chain of, like you say, luxury resorts, vacation spots, tropical.
Pretty much straight off North Carolina, right? Just straight out east. I don't know how many miles, though. It's probably.
Well, didn't they always call North Carolina coast the graveyard of the
yeah.
Atlantic?
Yep.
I mean, the shipwrecks and stuff.
That'd be interesting. Maybe you and Brett. I'll stay home, but you, Brett, can go do a documentary, go do a show in Bermuda, see if you get back.
As long as I end up in Key West.
Well, that's a long way.
Fine. Oh, okay.
That's a long way.
Yeah.
That's probably about as far from.
What's our budget on this documentary?
Yeah.
I might be in.
Depends on the budget.
$300 including flight.
Oh,
a piece.
We might be able to get a crate out there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I was trying to think here. Okay, we did the geography stuff last week and the mileage, and we were nailing it. But I'm going to say from Bermuda to Key West, that's got to be 1,000 miles.
1,000 miles, yeah.
From nowhere.
Yep.
You could really use it there, Mike. Bermuda may be.
Yeah, a little Dwight Yoakam, 1,000 miles from nowhere.
Yeah, and you got to take that by motorboat.
Oh, how about sailboat? Let's make it even harder.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know if that's anything I'd want to do either. Man, you look outside today, it's kind of gloomy. It's a good day for sitting inside and watching all the great college football games, and there's one.
There's one game.
Yeah.
Now, whereas it's a classic.
It is.
Just one.
It is, but, well, okay. Here's something that ESPN does not do a good job with on their website, okay? And they do very little things where they don't do them really well, right? Find me the FCS games today.
Not there?
Yes, they got to be there. But I've been sitting here looking around.
You're talking about the playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
There was a game last night. James Madison knocked off Montana. It was on when I got home. I think it wound up. I know it's 28-6. I think it wound up 28-6. Not 100% sure. Cause you know why I'm not 100% sure?
No.
Can't find the scores.
Wow.
Can't find them. ESPN hides the FCS.
Well, that's not right. In the 20, the first decade of the 2000s, we were very interested.
I'm sure you.
In what is now
I'm
the
sure
FCS.
there's a specific place to click on, but why should it be so hard?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean, why does it have to be so hard? You found them yet, Brett?
Yeah, not on ESPN. I don't.
Not on ESPN.
I only go to ESPN.com about once or twice a year.
Yeah, but the sad thing is, the game last night was on ESPN.
Yeah.
So why are they not, promoting their own?
Well, I use the app called The Score.
The Score.
That's what I.
Was it 28-6?
Yeah.
It was 28-6.
In favor of
James
Madison playing at home.
That was a 3 games today.
Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule here. All I got is Army Navy today.
Yeah.
No scores.
Why do they not promote the FCS?
It's a good point.
A little more,
Yeah.
I mean, good football.
It is.
I know it's more local interest, but you know, on a day in which there are not 45 to 50 games on your television,
Mm-hmm.
why not promote it a little more? Who are the games today, Brett? Who are the top seeds in this tournament? And does it have a
I don't
TV
know.
schedule?
I don't have the seeds, but East Tennessee State
Mhm.
at North Dakota State is at noon.
I'm sure East Tennessee State in that game's a big underdog because
Yeah.
of how good North Dakota State's been over the years. But
And
it's
that
good to see
one's-
East Tennessee State back in the mix.
That one's on ESPN at noon.
Okay.
25.5 point
Is that all?
spread. South Dakota State at Villanova at 2. I don't know why it's at 2 and not 3, but it's not on ESPN. It's on ESPN Plus.
And that's who again?
South Dakota State and Villanova.
Two teams that have won a national title, right, in the last 10 years, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then at 8:30, also just on ESPN Plus, Montana State and Sam Houston State.
So Montana, the state of Montana, had two teams in the final 8
Yeah.
in the
looks like-
Grizzlies.
Wait a minute. Now, did you say ESPN Plus, Brett?
That was one of the games.
Yeah, the only game that's actually
yeah.
on
two of the games.
TV is East Tennessee State, North Dakota State at 12.
ESPN Plus is something you have to pay for extra. So
Yeah.
many ESPN watchers won't even have the option of seeing that game.
As Mike Powell as falls into that category, right?
You are wrong. I have Hulu Live, and now we have added ESPN
Okay.
Plus to it.
Party at Mike Powell's house today at 2 o'clock. Is that what time?
Okay, I'll see you there.
A viewing party today, and that would be. I've already forgot which one plays in that
Yeah.
in that particular
South Dakota
contest.
State and Villanova.
South Dakota State, Villanova. You can name me Villanova's most popular player of all time. I know one of you can. I got faith in you.
Villanova.
Villanova. Household name.
Ooh.
Howie Long.
Howie Long.
Wow.
Howie
I did
Long.
not know that guy.
Yeah, Howie Long.
I was thinking Kyle Lowry
Mm.
or
Well, you were in the wrong sport.
Wrong sport.
who was the 80s? Who was the star of Villanova basketball in the 80s?
Ed Pickens.
Yeah, they had two kids by the same last name that were good.
Yeah.
Weren't related, but
So not household names. They got a more famous football player than
yeah, they
the
do.
basketball
They do,
player.
and they've always been what we call now FCS. They've
Yeah.
always been FCS.
Their '85 national championship team. I wouldn't say it was a team with no names, but they didn't have a bunch of future pro stars.
Yeah.
Butch Parker's awake this morning. He sent me the schedule for today that he found. ABC is what he's got at the bottom there. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, pretty much what Brett had gone over. Let's see. He's got This is something else. This isn't the FCS. This is let's see. What's he got me here? South Carolina State. Have to find out what the deal is here with South Carolina State playing Jackson State. First of all, the writing is
Well, what is that, Division II?
even too small for the don't know.
I know Jackson State is where Deion Sanders coaches, and they get a lot of publicity.
They're definitely getting the pub. Any won his conference this year, right? Weren't they the conference champs? Deion's team. Yeah, the conference champs.
probably.
I still think he would have
Probably.
been a popular pick for the USC job. Pure Hollywood. Right?
It would be interesting to see how he would do at a D1 school.
I know. I don't know that he's interested, maybe, but
North Dakota State, who's their most famous?
well, it has to be
Yes, it does. You're exactly right.
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz, of course.
There
Trey
probably are
Lance.
others, maybe in the future. We'll see.
Well, you know
Trey
that
Lance.
that school has produced some good quarterbacks. There've been others that have led their team.
Lay them on me. Throw them at me.
Well, there's. All I know is they won a lot of SCS titles.
Those household names.
Those household
throw
names.
those household names.
It's
on me.
rolling off my tongue.
Is Carson Wentz a household name at this point? It's not a
No.
Howie Long name.
No. If he wins a couple Super Bowls, he might be more. But
He almost won one.
He did?
He was a part of a team.
yeah,
That,
even though he didn't play.
that
And
won. Yep.
but you think he's redeemed himself a little bit with the season? This season with the Colts.
I think when healthy, he's a top half.
He just
I
does
think
not.
he's in the top half when he's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
100% healthy. He's just one of those guys that's like Garoppolo and some of the others. Teddy Bridgewater.
Oft injured.
Can't keep them healthy.
Right.
Can't keep them on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Availability becomes their most important asset, right? And so many of them are not available. But said go to Yahoo Sports, and all the FCS is under the NCAA football, and that's the way it ought to
That's
be.
the way it
So
should be.
I just wish somebody would explain to me why ESPN, which covers the games,
Yeah.
don't have it where it's easier to find on their website. That's
so you
just
have to
amazing
go to Yahoo
me.
to get the schedule.
I mean, you look under the NCAA football tab, and you have home, college football playoff. But guess what? That college football playoff is that 4-team thing that we're waiting on
yeah.
in
And the bowl
late
schedule,
December.
that has nothing to do
Nothing.
with the
Scores,
FCS.
schedule, standings, stats, teams, daily lines.
The schedule only has Army versus
Way to go,
Navy.
ESPN. You have do a great job of hiding
Yeah.
a popular football group that we would like to see and follow just a little bit closer.
Well, we remember our glory days when
Sure.
we followed Appalachian.
Oh, I found it pretty quick on ESPN.
Did you? But on the app. Is that what you said?
No, I'm not on the app. I'm on the, I guess it's the mobile website.
Oh.
But if
But-
you go to NCAA football and click on scores,
Click on scores.
and then you see where it has top 25, maybe that's what it has at the top of your scoreboard.
Mine doesn't. It just has Army, Navy.
That's all mine has.
Yeah.
Well, David and I are on the same side.
My choices, and it says now I could be under college football playoff here, but I don't think so.
No,
Yeah.
it won't be. It won't be there.
No, first picture pops up is Alabama under that tab. So you're telling me now that Yahoo is doing a better job of covering ESPN sports than ESPN is of covering. Bro, all I'm saying is, yeah, you found it and you found it quick, but it should be easy to find on their website too. I mean, it just should be. To me, it just should pop out there. How hard is it to put FCS?
I know.
Just put a tab FCS and you can find it instantly.
And Yahoo also has better columnists than ESPN. You got guys like Dan Wetzel, Pete Thamel. You used to have Pat Forty before he went to Sports Illustrated. So they do have some top writers.
There's even a more tab over at the end. Everything you got up there, Mike, and you see it over at the very far right. It says more.
Oh yeah,
It's not even under more. So
that's pretty sad.
maybe if they had, Butch says ESPN is a hack.
Yeah.
Maybe they should be under a tab called less, and you would find those. If you know, I feel bad for the kids that play,
I know.
and the kids and the coaches that coach at that level. That they, you know, I guess you got to be happy that ESPN does televise your games, but just like you said, why today? Why today would they not televise all
There's
those
only
games?
one.
What is on? What's the top topic today on TV? That's not the Army Navy game, but and maybe
Nothing.
they did not want to put any games on TV that would take away from Army Navy because
Who's broadcasting Army Navy? ABC.
CBS
Well-
at 3:00. It looks like they would want to compete.
Yeah, it looks like they would have put on.
Well, here's one thing. One reason they're not on. Missouri and Kansas basketball is at 3:15 on ESPN.
Okay, so that's what they're trumpeting. Okay, a meaningless, relatively.
Pretty much. pretty much. You know, I mean,
I mean, don't you guys agree most basketball games in December are fairly
I don't even
meaningless?
watch. I hardly watch.
I know you never start watching till March.
Yeah, well, I watch
anymore.
before March, but it's pretty much after football's over before I really start
Yeah,
watching
that's
it
true.
with a lot of interest. But, you know, so you got a 30-point Kansas win today on TV.
Probably.
Is your buddy Drinkwitz
I was gonna.
coaching?
Would he be in the audience? I hope he's there.
Who's
Like,
the head coach of Missouri basketball?
I have no idea.
There's your trivia question of the day. Who is the head coach of
Missouri basketball.
Yeah. Name me a guy that's been the head coach
I-
of Missouri basketball.
Oh, well, the guy that was at Miami for a
Well,
while.
see, you can't name him.
Hayth?
Frank
Frank
Haith.
Yeah.
Frank
After
Haith.
being fired at Miami, he went to Missouri for a few years, right? But he's
Where-
not
where
there
do
now,
all
is
the
he? He's not the man.
I'm not sure.
The man in charge now, is he?
Where do all the fired Miami coaches go in every sport?
Key West.
Okay. Well, what's the name of that famous bar that Hemingway frequented?
Why'd
Sloppy
you do that?
Joe's.
Sloppy Joe's. Yeah,
Sloppy
they're
Joe's.
drinking it up at Sloppy Joe's.
Norm Stewart.
Norm Stewart.
Roger says.
I remember
Norm,
him.
Norm Stewart. How far back do we go with
That.
that?
That has to go back to the 70s.
There was
and
another
80s.
very popular African American coach, probably in his 50s when he took that job. I can see him, but I can't think of his name. I can just see the guy.
Mhm. At Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
Frank Hayes, the only one that comes to my mind right now.
and Norm Stewart's the face. If I think
Yeah.
if I think of the history,
Face of Missouri basketball
Yeah.
when they were in the Big 8, or Big 12.
I tell
Yeah,
you,
he was the Big 8.
you got to dig deep if you're trying to figure out who the Missouri basketball coaches are.
I'd almost say the same for Missouri football coaches.
Quanzo Martin is the current
Quanzo.
head coach, and I remember where do you play, Brett? Because I remember seeing him play. Purdue.
That's right,
Yep.
Purdue, big
Purdue.
name. That's
Yep.
right.
Yep. Butch says, as Lindsey Nelson would say, moving on to further action.
Great one, Butch.
It ain't Bruce Pearl at Missouri.
Yeah,
No,
you guys forgot a good one. Quinn
You're
Snyder
sharp.
was there
You're sharp
for
today,
Quinn
Brett.
Snyder was there a
was
while.
there for 8 years.
He was.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
7 years.
That's pretty
Yeah.
bad that
Quinn Snyder.
one of our own, and we had to look it up.
We can't even
And-
remember a Duke alum that
Uh-uh.
coached at Missouri.
Yeah.
Norm Stewart coached 32 years.
That's
at
why
Missouri.
he's the face. That's why he's the face, the one I remember.
I'm sure Quinn had to move on due to NCAA recruiting.
Kim Anderson, but I'm guessing that was a male name, Kim
Probably.
Anderson, because
We would have heard about it.
I do not remember a female being the head coach there for 3 seasons.
Will we ever see that?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
We will.
At some point, yeah.
Frank Haith went 76-28.
And got fired?
All-time highest winning percentage.
Hey.
Well, no, not all time.
Or did he take another
But-
job?
In the last 80 years.
Is
anyway.
Frank
Went
Haith-
back to Key West.
Is Frank Haith coaching today?
That's a
or-
good question.
Maybe not particularly today.
Yeah,
But
Tulsa.
Tulsa.
That's right.
Mm.
Golden
Golden Hurricane.
he did a pretty good job at Miami. As
I thought he did too. All-time best winning percentage at Missouri. Why is he gone?
I don't know.
What happened?
There had to be
Violations?
something. Yeah.
I don't know.
Give me a minute and I'll tell you.
I mean, which is more higher profile, Missouri or Tulsa? I guess one could. In basketball, I don't know.
I was gonna say maybe you may not want to ask that question.
So there were some kind of violations. It doesn't say what,
Yeah.
but they had to forfeit wins from one of his seasons, and then they got rid of it.
Well, he's had kind of a paper trail follow him, much like other coaches have. You mentioned Bruce Pearl. What's his latest? 2-game suspension, 4 years probation at Auburn. Yeah.
Man can coach. It's
Yeah, he
just,
can coach.
Some baggage just seems to
Auburn's okay with it.
follow it around just a little bit,
Yeah.
right?
Auburn's fine with
Some
it, right?
baggage just seems to follow it around. Who's been? I think it was NCAA violations for Haith. That's what Lenny says.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, that's much as I hate to say it, what seems to be no surprise,
No.
at least at this point.
Certainly no surprise in Bruce Pearl's case, right?
Mm-mm. There's quite a few you can, you know.
And
What's the guy that
Haith
was in
was also-
Oklahoma for a while? The guy from
Yeah,
Lumberton.
Kevin,
Yeah, it's followed him. What
and
was
now
his
he's at
name?
Houston. Kevin Sampson.
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 Yeah,
Kelvin.
Indiana.
Kelvin.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kelvin
Oklahoma,
Sampson.
then
Yeah.
Indiana. Yeah, Kelvin Sampson.
Good coach.
Good coach.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Always good coach when you got good players, right? Who's
Usually
been
follow.
the biggest story of college basketball in the early season? Rutgers this week, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Is Purdue still
Purdue.
ranked number one for the whatever meaningless?
well, sure, 2
poll?
more days.
Yeah.
Rutgers beat them, you know,
Yeah.
last
You
second.
got 2
shot.
more days
Yeah.
until the new rankings
Right.
come out.
But you know, I just wonder what team.
Had Duke not lost to Ohio State, they probably would have been the biggest story. But no,
Mhm,
that's
but
over.
maybe they are the biggest story because they lost to Ohio State.
Yeah, that's true too.
See, the Houston Cougars are 8-1. The East Carolina Pirates are 8-2.
Nice.
Cincinnati Bearcats are 7-2. Household name, St. Bonaventure. This was a household name at one time.
Hey,
right?
in the 60s
Yep.
and 70s, they were.
They're 8-1, off to an 8-1 start. Davidson 6-2, off to a good start. Wake Forest 8-1. Hadn't heard a word about them.
Wow, are they? No,
8-1.
I had no idea.
North Carolina off to 6-2 start. Miami 7-3. Boston College, Louisville both 6-3. Virginia 6-4. That's a little bit of a surprise, isn't it?
It is a
Virginia with
surprise.
4 losses already.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's great news about Wake. I mean, we know the struggles they've had in basketball for the last, 10 years at least?
yeah, but
Who was the last successful coach at Wake? Can anybody? Yeah, how far
What
do
do you
have to
call
go
success?
back?
It was Skip Prosser.
Skip Prosser.
but what
of
do you
course.
call success?
Well, Skip Prosser was competing for the ACC championship.
How many
every
Final
year.
Fours?
I never made.
I mean,
the-
that's what I'm saying.
no,
Okay, that would not be success at North Carolina or Duke.
no, that would be disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As far as I know, Wake's only been to one Final Four. That's when Billy Packer played. Am I right?
Don't ask us.
You guys
You're the old one here.
and the listening audience. I know Billy Packer was on the team that played in the Final Four at Wake, but I don't. And they've had some outstanding teams. I mean, my God.
Now, I don't know if Lenny meant this way or not, but he put Skip Prosper. So
Yeah.
did he prosper?
Yeah, his team's prospered, but tragically, he died suddenly of a heart attack in his 50s.
Yes, he did.
And that's
out
set-
on a run, right? On
yeah.
a jog. That's why I
That
don't-
set the program back,
why I
and
don't
they.
jog.
I don't think they've ever recovered from his loss. Really, I mean, not totally.
Okay. How good's LSU in basketball? Hadn't they been a hot topic here lately? That's Wake Forest only loss. 14-point loss to LSU.
Well,
But here's Wake Forest wins. If I
Yeah.
can name
let's
them
look
all.
at the wins.
William and Mary, Western Carolina.
Bill and Mary.
Bill and Mary, yes. CHSO, Charleston Southern. That's what that'd
Okay.
be, Charleston Southern. North Carolina A&T, KENN, Kennesaw maybe? Kennesaw State, isn't that a thing? Somebody help me.
Yeah, Kennesaw
Yeah,
State.
Hover
probably
over
it.
Okay. Oregon State, they won by 3.
Well, that's a good Division I win.
Northwestern, they won by 4. And they have already won an ACC game. They beat Virginia Tech by 19.
Hey,
Next up for the Deeks, SCUP, SCUP.
SCUP.
Anybody want to tackle that one?
South Carolina upstate.
Surely
Great
not.
guess. Great acronym, anyway.
It is.
SCUP.
Yeah, surely. I don't know about that one, Brett. If you nailed that.
If he nailed-
Oh, he's exactly right.
Yep.
For a bonus points, what's their team nickname?
South Carolina upstate.
Prosser's son is the coach at Winthrop, Lenny says.
My alma mater.
Yep. Brett's looking up that nickname. He don't want to let that go. South Carolina upstate
Spartans.
Spartans. Why not, right?
Yep.
So Wake Forest is one of your now okay, here, let's go out on a limb.
They got a couple of nice wins there.
Yeah, a couple nice wins. Go out
Big
on
Ten.
go out on a limb here. Where will they finish in the ACC standings? And how many teams are there?
15 teams.
Sounds right.
Well, of course, the Coastal. What's the other division's name? Coastal and
15 teams. They're 8-1. They've already beaten Virginia Tech,
So
so I'm
they're
giving you
1-0
a
in
head
the league.
start. 1-0 in the league.
good start.
Joining North Carolina, Miami, Boston College, Louisville, Virginia, and Syracuse as all the teams that have won a game. Everybody else has lost a game except for Duke, and Duke is the one team haven't played a conference game.
Right.
Got an odd number. Somebody has to be odd team
On
out.
the odd team out.
So where are they going?
I'll
I'll
say
make it
nine.
easy. I was going to make it easy on you. I was going to say upper 7 or lower 8.
I'm thinking glass half full. I'm going to say upper 7, but maybe 7th. You know, like the lower tier of the upper 7.
Butch says Wake Forest last Final Four was 1962.
That's right.
And then the next line says, honestly, even I don't remember that.
I don't remember the year. I just remember Billy Packer was on the team.
Yep. I obviously don't remember that. I know Brett don't remember that. I'm pretty sure that most of our listening audience. Lenny, don't you step up and say you remember that, because I know you don't. I know you don't remember it live, not happening.
No.
We all remember the stories. And, 1962.
And who was the coach at Wake?
Bones?
Was Bones the coach?
I don't know.
I don't
That's
think
my
so.
first. That's my first guess.
Pretty sure Bones was not
Bones
the coach.
McKinney. That's just the name that I remember before Carl Tacey.
Well, yeah, of course,
You know, but-
Bones, the colorful Bones McKinney. But I don't believe
Was
Bones.
this before him?
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe it's before Bones.
I didn't know basketball existed before
Yeah, no.
Bones McKinney was the coach.
Remember when the ACC had all those colorful coaches? Lefty Drizel, Bones McKinney. I mean, it was Bill Foster at South Carolina, at Clemson.
It's funny you
all those
mentioned
guys.
Lefty Drizel, because I saw a tweet this week from a guy that I can't remember his name, but he's like maybe the SID down at Davidson, and he said about once every couple months Lefty Drizel calls into the office and said it is pure drama. He said, you know, the calls are worth recording.
Mhm.
So that just kind of
Yeah.
blew my mind.
Well, you know, that's
To
where
be honest, I didn't know Lefty was still kicking,
kicking.
but I guess he is.
Yeah. And that's where he started his climb up the coaching ladder at Davidson.
How old would he be?
Oh, Lefty's got to be in his 80s. Easy.
Well, that's
Why do I always have to take the brunt of the age?
and still
jokes?
living. We're in the world.
I'm 70 going on 50.
There you go.
So-
That's the way to look at it right there. 70 going on 50. Let's see. Bones. Roger says Bones was the coach in 1962. So
He was? Okay.
that's what Roger says.
All
I'll
right.
take- I'll
I
take
believe
his word for
Roger.
it. Yes, absolutely. Although Roger, I don't think would be old enough to actually remember that himself.
No.
But Illinois 7-2. Illinois always gets off to good starts, it seems like, but always fades away
Yeah.
into the night. Wisconsin, definitely one you can't count out. Very solid program
Mhm.
in the Big Ten. 8-1. Michigan State 8-2. Northwestern 6-2. Ohio State 7-2. Michigan 6-3. Indiana 7-2. I think that's kind of a pleasant surprise.
is.
Bam! Who's the head coach at Indiana?
Oh, boy.
So
Is it a Miller?
I don't know. How far has the program failed at Indiana? Because that
It's
was
not Archie Miller, is
a
it?
household
Or Sean
name.
They
Miller?
fired
many,
Archie
many,
Miller.
many years. Indiana was, might have wear red, but they were a blue blood for many
Oh,
years.
yeah.
Now they're just another team.
They certainly didn't bring back Dan Dockett.
Mike Woodson.
Oh,
is
okay.
what,
Oh,
uh,
yeah,
Woodson.
that's right.
That's
Woodson.
what. Thank you, Lenny. Mike Woodson is what Lenny said.
Can
the head
anybody
coach.
name the team and year that Woodson played on and Indiana
Absolutely
won the national
not.
championship?
Okay, so he went to Indiana. I was going to ask somebody to give me the background on.
Here's
Mike
the
Woodson.
background.
I know he was a Knicks coach for a while.
Here's the background.
Well, he made a good move to get out of there.
Yeah.
1976, Bobby Knight, Indiana team went 36-0, undefeated.
That's the
won
that's the team he was on.
Mhm.
That's was he a starter?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
a star on that
star.
team.
Tur.
Yeah, they also had Quinn Buckner at guard.
Oh, yeah. Benson.
And Benson inside. And
Yep.
Woodson was a wing guy.
Yeah, and had a nice power forward too. What was his name?
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I should be able to remember that, but I can't remember the power forward.
Is that and that is the last team to run the table and win it all, correct? In
Yeah, I think
men's
so.
basketball.
I think so. We've been close a couple times.
Yeah,
just like
Indiana.
last year. We're close last year.
Gonzaga and Indiana flirted with it.
Somebody else entered the. I think Kentucky's been close a couple times, and,
Yep.
and even Wichita State maybe.
Yeah, they were close.
Didn't they
too.
enter the tournament 1 year undefeated?
They did.
Entered the NCAA tournament.
Indiana was undefeated in 2015 and lost the semifinal to Wisconsin, which then lost to we know who they lost to, right? Duke.
Butch, here's all I'm gonna say. I'm only gonna read this part, Butch.
Okay.
I wish Dockich was at Indiana.
Doesn't
Now,
it?
that'll make Butch mad that that's the only part I read, because the next line says, "Big mouth loser, jerk." Talking about Dan Dockich.
Hey, Butch, you're speaking to the choir. He is all those things you said.
He's a great interview, though.
Yeah.
I would say
Lenny says he's a great
I
interviewer.
think he's good for ESPN TV, because guess what? He's one of those, any publicity's good publicity.
Any publicity's good.
And if you're listening to him because you hate him, you're listening to him, right? Right?
Kind of like Stephen A. I think it's the same kind of thing.
I don't think Stephen A's hated by as many people as you'd think.
Another nice
You
guy
know?
off the eight.
Yeah, I think I usually agree with his opinions, and it's just the way he presents himself sometimes.
Yeah, the
yeller.
drama,
The yeller.
the yeller. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
But, yeah.
It's a lot of theater with Stephen A.
Yeah, one guy told him one time, I think, on the set, said, "Just because you're the loudest doesn't mean you're right." So,
Yeah.
and I think that's what a lot of people think about him,
Mhm.
is his rants. But I love the way he loves the Dallas Cowboys, though.
Yeah, me too.
He picks on those Dallas Cowboy fans.
Yeah. What's his typical thing after they've lost?
Come in with a cowboy hat
cowboy
on.
hat and a cigar.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah,
That's
that's funny.
Yep. Let's see here real quick before we take our first time out while we're on college basketball, because we got a lot of college football to talk about. We're going to look at some of the bowl matchups.
Okay.
The good old Greasy Mayonnaise Bowl down in Charlotte.
Well named. That's the best named bowl in the country.
You're a sick human being, Mike.
Well, do you not like Duke's mayo?
I do, but I don't want
Okay.
my bowl named after it. I don't
No,
think I
I'm
want
just
my
kidding.
bowl, the
It's
castor.
better than the
castor oil.
Poulan Weed Eater Independence Bowl out of Shreveport, Louisiana.
Some of them's names are a
Yeah.
little lengthy.
Yeah,
are they
they
not?
are.
Here's what you got. This is all going to change, though, on Sunday night. Purdue is number 1, right? 8. It says 8-0, but that's what the record was whenever the poll came out. Baylor was ranked 2nd. They should move up to number 1. Duke is 3rd. UCLA.
Baylor plays Villanova tomorrow.
Okay, so
So-
that changed too. That's number 1, or number 2, and number 6.
Yeah.
Villanova's number 6, so somebody's going to lose there.
Mm-hmm.
UCLA 4th, Gonzaga 5th, Villanova 6th, Texas 7, Kansas 8, Alabama 9. Who beat Alabama this? Somebody beat Alabama,
Yeah, it did.
and it was not. I mean, it was like a.
Yeah.
It was like a second tier team. I can't remember who it was, if I'm not mistaken. For some reason, that stands out in my mind. Kentucky's number 10. Kentucky's 6-1 according to this poll here, and they only lost their first game to Duke, in which they were, I thought very competitive in. They definitely had the best player on the floor that night. I can't recall his name right now, but he got like 35 rebounds.
Yeah.
But Kentucky is another one as they progress. I would watch out for. Arizona's 11; they're undefeated. Arkansas was number 12; they're undefeated. You got Tennessee at 13; they're 6-1. Houston, UConn, Southern Cal, Iowa State, Auburn, Michigan State, Florida, Ohio State. Now it looks like football. Auburn, Michigan State, Florida, Ohio State, Seton Hall, BYU, and LSU.
Okay.
So LSU's 8-0 when the poll came out. Yet they're 25th.
Mhm.
So, interesting stuff. Did you
What's
find
the
that,
coach-
Brett?
Find what?
Whatever it was I mentioned a minute ago, that who beat Alabama this week?
Nobody.
They didn't.
Their loss was to Iona in the Thanksgiving.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking
tournament.
about. Maybe I just heard it talked about this week that their one loss was
The big
was that
one
a
this
bad
week
loss?
was
Was that a bad loss losing to Iona?
nah.
Not really.
No.
Florida was ranked 14th. Lost to 0-7 Texas Southern.
Wow. That is.
By
Maybe
15.
that's what I heard. I just had it associated with SEC football, but maybe that's what I heard. It was Florida that had the bad loss. So lost to an 0-7 team.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad loss.
Butch says he turns the channel when Dockich comes on TV.
Yeah.
And Lenny does say Alabama lost to Iona. But I'm thinking now, Lenny, it was that Florida loss that I heard about this week and thought, wow. And I'm not even sure I heard that they were 0-7. And you said it was Texas Southern?
Yep.
Texas Southern beating a D1 team that
Wow.
was ranked.
I think Texas Southern is
0-17.
D1 also.
Are
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But to be 0-7 and beat a ranked
Yeah.
team from a Power 5 conference as well. Roger says, too bad Florida didn't lose by 100. Roger, big Gator fan.
It's quite obvious.
And Rick Patino's Iona Gales is what
That's right.
Yeah.
Lenny says about the famous Iona. Iona now has had two of the premier coaches of college basketball all time, right? With
Jim Valvano,
Valvano.
coached there before he went to NC State.
Patino.
That's right.
Hotbed for coaches.
New York City.
Iona. That's right. That's true.
New York City.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's take a time out. We come back, we're going to look at high school, college football, NFL. Got some time today. Back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
All right. Welcome back. Lenny says, I would not want to be NC State. Now, Lenny, I know you've always wanted to be NC State. Don't try and fool us here. I would not want to be NC State. They have to play, I'm sure, an angry Purdue team on Sunday. Didn't realize that matchup was coming up either. Purdue.
And that's not even the ACC Big Ten matchup thing.
Not unless there's running late.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who those two teams played in the – as a matter of fact, number one I kept up with, I even had to ask Brett who won the ACC Big Ten Challenge. And Brett's first response was, the Big Ten killed them. And then found out it was just really one game. I mean, one game swing.
Exactly killed them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was 8-6.
8-6, yeah.
2-game swing, but if you take, one game from being 7-7, is the way
I know that Duke contributed to the ACC's loss column.
They sure did. And of all the teams to lose to, the
Ohio State.
Yeah. You go ahead and put that "the" in front of there. If you want to. I got a word that goes at the end of it as well.
Yeah.
We'll save that one for
or the beginning.
No offense, Duke. No offense, Butch. That's what I meant to say. No offense.
Yeah.
Butch.
Butch being a.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one. Well, no, but he's not bad. I'm talking about the. I don't know. Here's what turned me against Ohio State. Never really ever even give them any thought, because for 100 years they were a non-factor, right? All of a sudden
in football.
Well, I mean, they were big in Ohio.
Yeah.
But Michigan dominated them like they're dominating Michigan now. They were. I mean, how many years did they go without being with a chance for a national title? A long time, right? So.
Mm-hmm.
But I roll in, me and some friends roll into Jocks and Jill's one night, and it happened to be on a night there was a college football game on. It might have been a bowl game, and I didn't know it was an Ohio State
enclave.
Oh my gosh, it was the most obnoxious place I'd ever been.
Yeah, Jocks and Jill's. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was unreal, and I said, man, I got to get out of here, and I sure hope they lose. And I don't even remember if they won or lost that night, but it's kind of been that way ever since. If I see something with Ohio State on it, I kind of know what kind of the picture George Dixon.
Yeah, I think
now we love George.
Yeah,
but if you don't know George, you would hate George, right?
Yeah, to know him is to hate him, I guess would be the thing.
That George should be the picture of the Ohio State, the typical Ohio State.
Well, he also typifies the endlessly frustrated, angry Cleveland Browns fan.
Yeah. But I got to give him some credit. That is one loyal son of a gun. I'll tell you that, because he rode with the Browns through all those horrible years, you know. And I don't know if he ever missed a game, whether it was on TV or whatever, you know. But definitely a diehard Browns fan, and the Indians as well. I mean, he's suffered through the Indians' World Series loss to the Braves,
Right.
and he's been loyal to his Cleveland teams. You know, one thing about George is he tells me the high school he went to is he could throw a rock and hit the. I don't know if he could throw the rock. You know, I've seen him throw before, but he says he could throw a rock and hit the NFL, or not the NFL, but the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Roger says just like Gator fans, obnoxious and arrogant.
Ooh.
So,
So where does Rogers' distaste for Florida originate?
Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, of course.
His allegiance to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Purdue beat Florida State in the Big Ten Challenge. Purdue beat Florida. Yeah, they wore them out, didn't they?
Yeah.
If I remember now.
Yeah, they did.
If I recall, that was like a 20 or 30 point blowout in the one of the bigger blowout, maybe the biggest blowout in the challenge. All right, memory. Who are the FCS games today? North Dakota
East
State.
Tennessee State, North Dakota State.
That's the TV game at 2.
At 12.
At noon. ESPN at noon.
Then Villanova and South Dakota State.
I think so. And this one's only on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
And the third and final game of the day
Sam
was a
Houston
Montana State.
Yeah. Sam Houston State.
Shouldn't there be 4 games? It's
one
a
last
16.
night, Mike.
Oh, that's
we talked
right.
about it.
We
remember?
talked about it. Yeah. I was still in the Bermuda Triangle, just now emerging, actually.
Yeah. One last night, which featured James Madison playing at home in front of a big crowd. Got to see a little bit when I got home. Defeating Montana, the Grizzlies of Montana.
Yep.
So you got 2 South Dakota teams in it, 2 Montana teams in it. That's pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
The
The
final
power
8.
of the FCS is in the,
Yep.
I guess,
Well,
the West, Upper West.
Yeah, and if you think about those states, I mean, you know, not big draws for college football
No.
athletes, you know. So that's why I like the FCS. I like it. I just like to follow it and watch it because, you know, those kids. The football might even mean a little more to them than it does the FBS guys in the long run. High school football last night, the first game of the state championships. We're back after 20 years of having 8 state champions in football, where this is the first year we're back to 4. And it looked like Dudley earned and deserved their state championship. They cruised all the way through. Brett, we need to look at their scores. There's 6 scores in the bracket this year, because I don't recall anything being remotely a close
closest
game.
one was Statesville. They beat 20-6.
20-6 over Statesville, which tells you how good a team Statesville was.
Yeah.
You know, you got to think Statesville might could have won the state had there not been a Dudley
That's a good
in that bracket. That's only Statesville's only loss of the season as well.
Yeah.
So 20-6, but then after that they just rolled over South Point, didn't they? 38
nothing. Yep.
Yep.
And then before Statesville, they beat Kings Mountain 36-10. They beat Ledford.
A good Kings Mountain team.
Ledford 53-10, and North Henderson 60-0.
That's an impressive run. And then last night they broke a North Carolina record for most points in a state championship football game, 69. And I'm pretty sure we talked about this. I don't want to give you 100% here, but pretty sure they did not even score in the fourth quarter.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
They didn't.
Scored all 69 of those points last night in the first 3 quarters. And, yeah, you might look at it like, well, they gave up 40, but guess what? Some of those points came after this game was totally decided. A lot of guys probably watching from the sideline and celebrating so that more kids could get a chance to play in a state championship game, because you're definitely not guaranteed a state championship game every year. unless your name's Shelby or Tarboro. But I mean, it's just hard to get there. But congratulations to Dudley. They've been pretty dominant.
Yeah, that game was 27-20.
Yeah,
with about 3 minutes left in the first half,
and they scored 2 touchdowns.
And Rose had the ball at about midfield, down by 7, and they turned it over. I can't remember if that one was a fumble or interception, but anyway, they turned it over. Dudley scored a few plays later, and then on the kickoff, Rose fumbled again, and Dudley scored another touchdown.
There you go, 2 straight fumbles.
Game of runs
around.
too. I mean, Dudley jumped out 21-0.
Yeah,
and then Greenville Rose did make a nice comeback to get in.
Both teams had interception returns for touchdowns.
Wow.
And then Dudley also had a punt return for a touchdown.
Butch is hammering me here a little bit, so I'm gonna read his, and I understand, but whenever I said Ohio State wasn't on the map for a long time, I meant during my lifetime and when I could remember, right? I mean, the biggest thing I remember about Ohio State football is Archie Griffin winning the Heisman twice.
Yeah, well.
But Butch said they won 8 national championships, but he does say since 1922. Well, I wasn't really following it real close in 19.
Well, it was the post Woody Hayes.
The Woody Hayes years were great, he says, and he says.
And then they had a little downtime.
No, and I will say, he says, surely you're not saying the Buckeye fans are the only obnoxious fans, especially with the nameless schools and fans are around here. I'm absolutely not saying that. It was just I walked in on them, and I may have felt the same way about 100 other schools had I walked in on the same thing. I'm just saying that was the particular one I walked in on that night.
Butch is right. I mean, they were
party.
great during the Woody Hayes era, and of course that ended when Woody punched the Clemson
now,
player.
I'm going to ask a question. I'm not being mean. I want to know. This is an honest, because I don't know. Did Woody win a national title?
Well, back then, of course, national titles were different.
That's not. People won them every year.
Yeah, my guess is
how are they different?
I bet he did.
I mean, I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that.
I'm saying he won a national title during his tenure at Ohio State.
And maybe he did. I just can't remember if he did or not. I mean, I know, like when I was growing up, it seemed like football was dominated by Nebraska, Oklahoma, Notre Dame,
Wikipedia
Alabama.
says he won 5.
He won 5, okay.
Wow.
There you go.
I knew it was pretty
54, 57, 61, 68, and 70.
See, just right before, I mean, in 1970.
Right before you gained consciousness.
Yeah. I mean, in 1970, then I could probably remember a little bit of that.
Yeah. I remember.
You can't say who they beat in the title game because it wasn't done that way.
No, it wasn't. Trying to remember who followed Woody after Woody, was canned for his outrageous behavior. John Cooper is a guy named. Seemed like it was a guy.
Yeah,
named
I don't know.
Earl Bruce. He always dressed in a little top hat and wore a suit. I mean, they had moderate success, but you're right. It
seemed like Bruce. I don't know why.
Earl Bruce.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Butch probably know the answer to that. Who followed him?
They had moderate success after Woody, but I think it took a long time. Then Jim Tressel came along, and they won a national title.
Yep.
Then he was undone by.
And I did like him a lot too. I thought he was very classy.
He always wore the red. Was it the red vest? I'm trying to remember.
Sweater or something.
Sweater or something.
Yeah, sweater
like that
vest.
Sweater vest.
Yeah. Earl Bruce, I think, did replace him. Said Lenny.
Yeah, I thought it was Earl
That's
Bruce.
the one that,
it was a totally different kind of coach.
I thought he was a country singer. What's it? Ed Bruce, I guess.
Oh, okay. Ed Bruce.
That goes way back too.
How about the rock singer Bruce? First name, anyway.
Maybe his middle name's Ed. 69 most points ever scored in a state championship game. Passes Reidsville by 1 point.
Wow.
Reidsville scored 68 in 2003 against Bandy's.
Yeah, I remember. We were there.
Yes, we
were. Were we not?
Yes, we were at NC State.
Windswept NC State, Carter Finley.
Yeah. Butch said a must-read, a book called The 100-Yard War, written by Woody. Fabulous read. So, there you go.
I got a great head for this one, guys.
And didn't Bo Schembechler come from? Didn't he coach with
Yeah,
Woody
he
Hayes?
was the Woody Hayes.
They were the biggest rivals for many years in
yeah.
college football, but he came from the Woody Hayes
the
coaching
Woody Hayes
tree.
Coaching tree, as it were. Yeah, you're right.
I think so.
Here's a great head. Dudley runs rampant over rampants. How's that?
And last week we were just talking about the rampants.
The rampants,
like,
yeah.
show me a rampant.
The rampants got ramped on.
Oh, yeah. You know what though? No, okay. Today it hurts if you're Greenville Rose. There's no doubt it hurts, right? But when you look back, in 5-10
you had a
years,
great year.
Yeah, because you have 4 losses.
Yeah.
You made the state championship game with 4 losses.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's a great playoff run, especially in the playoffs where you've got to win 6 now, you know, to be a state champion. I mean, they won 5 playoff games and had 4 losses during the season.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Max Preps website, and game attendance, at least 1,000.
Is that what it says?
At least 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. At Keenan Stadium.
I saw somewhere that there were like around 2,500.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's on that email from James Alverson has attendance.
They've got a few shots of the game, and I'm seeing mostly an empty stadium, but it's hard to say. Yeah.
Well, Brad, I'm looking at that email you're talking about. I hadn't. Is it in the first paragraph? Let's see. I see the score. I see 115 yards. Let's see. Dudley, is this the quarterback? Yeah, quarterback Jameer Slade was named most valuable player of the game last night for Dudley in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Rushed for 98 yards and threw for 2 more touchdowns and 115 yards. The stats aren't outstanding, which tells me it was a game of turnovers.
Yeah.
You know, it was a game of field position and turnovers, and because, I mean, I'm not saying the stats aren't good, but usually it takes more than 98 yards rushing and 115 throwing to get MVP on, especially when you score 69 points.
Yeah, but didn't as a team, Dudley had something like 330 yards rushing as a team.
And how many? Yeah, and well, so they had 400-some yards. You usually don't score 70 points,
No,
so with 400 yards,
yeah.
you're more like 600 yards.
Well, the
you know what I'm saying?
the kicking game figured into a couple touchdowns, right? And then there was a pick 6. So
yeah, that's the kind of thing.
yeah,
that makes more sense to me.
Mhm.
Attendance says 2,326.
Okay.
Mm.
And how many does that stadium hold? 60,000?
More than that,
They hold 60?
probably.
Yeah, and you know, I know the kids like to play in the big venues, but I just wish they would play in a, you know, like a 15,000 seat stadium or a 10,000 seat stadium. Get some real atmosphere.
I would just take Wake Forest.
Yeah,
but
every year.
Yeah, I mean it's just close. You know, the stadium, the seating is actually closer to the field. It's a little bit.
I just remember the game we went
cozier.
to when East Lincoln defeated Tarboro. Remember? You probably had 15,000 people there, but that was a great environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen quite a few games there that I thought
Yeah.
it
It's just
seemed to
more cozy. It's
Yep.
it would be a good sight.
I did see here a receiver for Greenville Rose. Let's see if I can find his name. Is it Grimes? Let's see. Grimes hauled in 9 passes for 150 yards. If I'm reading that right, I'm skimming over it so fast.
Yeah, it looks
I'm
like he
not-
had 2
not
touchdowns.
100%, not 100% sure. I'm running through it so fast.
Yeah, 9 for 150 and 2 touchdowns.
Let's see. Dudley wrapped up the season 15-1. Who was that lost to?
It was Durham Hillside.
Durham Hillside.
Yeah.
That's right, Durham Hillside. The only thing I remember about Durham Hillside was talking about going to state championships. This one might have been at Wake Forest. Rolled in there.
Oh, yeah, against Davie County.
Yeah, rolled in there one day, going to watch a good game. We got there about halftime. We went to see somebody else. I don't even know who played after them. But we thought, we'll get there at halftime and we'll see Davie County playing Durham Hillside. Durham Hillside had a quarterback named Vad Lee. And I don't know if you remember him or not, but he also went to Georgia Tech and started. as the quarterback down at Georgia Tech. But Vad Lee and the Durham Hillside team were up on Davie County at halftime, 40-0. And we thought, well, maybe we're not going to see too good of a game here. The final score actually was 40-0 as well, because Hillside called off the Dogs that day and just trounced Davie County.
I remember later that day it was Tarboro and Winston-Salem Carver.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a game in between there.
Todd Gurley led Tarboro team, and they won that. Pretty good game with Carver, I think. But the Gurley-led Vikings did win that game. I will say this, though. Out of all the state championships I've ever been to, and Brett can vouch, he's been to probably about the same amount of state championship games since they've been at these neutral sites. Davie County either had the largest or second largest crowd that I've ever seen at a state championship game. And, Brett, do you know who the other one was? Because it was just much more recent. Because it's not a team that I would have thought would have had the crowd that they had.
I don't know.
Southern Nash.
Oh.
Remember that?
Yeah.
When we rolled into NC State and Southern Nash was playing Charlotte Catholic, they may have been a bigger crowd than Davie County had that day. It was a huge crowd from Southern Nash. Is Southern the one that Peppers played for?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Joey's Peppers. And something else about Southern Nash, they had a running back on that team. The Catholic came back and beat them in the fourth quarter, but Southern Nash had a running back. Supposedly went to Wake, and I don't know. I can't remember his name. I don't know if he's been the star running back for Wake since he got there or not. But he was pretty good on that day, even against the Charlotte Catholic team. You got to help me here. Roger says Lincoln had 4 in 2007 when they won the 2A state championship. Had 4.
Losses.
Losses, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
Started 1 and 4.
1 and 4.
They did. Yep, started 1 and 4. That's right. Let's see. Yeah, I'd like to get. Well, that'd be one thing to go back and check. Who's had the most losses? 4 is 4 the record, or somebody lost 5 and still won? We had Roseville playing all the way up to last week, and they were 9 and 5, I think. Mm-hmm. When they lost their 6th game, but they were in the Eastern Championship, still playing a week ago with 5 losses.
The beauty of the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, it's the beauty. One thing. Here's where it's unlike college football so much. It's more about how you're playing at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. It's about playing good competition early, losing some games, but it's not going to kill you, because if you finish in the top couple of your conference, even with some losses, you're going to get in the playoffs and have a chance to redeem yourself. And we've seen some teams do that.
That running back from Southern Nash was Quentin Cooley.
Quentin Cooley.
He is at Wake Forest right now. He hadn't started getting a lot of playing time yet.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised like that. I thought he would be somebody that would come in and help them right away, didn't you? Because he was a beast.
Yeah, he's in his second year at Wake. Don't know if he redshirted his first year or if he played. Yeah, he had over 3,000 yards that year for.
I was going to say that day.
He probably had less than 100 against Catholic.
I don't believe it. I think.
Well, they only scored 7. I don't know.
Is that what it was? 7 points.
It was 23-7.
Yeah, and Catholic scored twice late, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they pulled away in the fourth quarter. It was pretty close till then. But yeah, then again, it was Charlotte Catholic, right?
He had
playing in a title game.
Yeah, 3,058 yards his senior year.
Let's see, something else I wanted to go over here real quick. Any final words on the 3A championship last night? Anything you can think of that we didn't say about the 3A? I thought the 3A West bracket, when we looked at it when it first came out, looked wide open. And I think we went over this and said, with the exception of Dudley, because we don't really know how good they are. But you had Crest in there and Kings Mountain and South Point, a lot of 3A teams that we're used to seeing go pretty deep in the playoffs, but we didn't know how good Dudley was. Statesville was another team that we thought you could watch out for. As it turns out, it looks like Statesville was the second best 3A team in the state, maybe.
Yeah.
to be able to play Dudley as close as they did. And I would love to know, I'd love to see the numbers that I don't have in front of me and see how close Dudley was to being a 4A, because they have been 4A at times in the past. I think
That's true.
4A more than even more than they've been 3A. But you know, it's the way the numbers fell this last realignment, they were 3A. And let's see, state championship information. Just real quick here. Oh, that's the press conferences. That's not what I want. Just so you'll know what's going on today, some people are probably planning to go, are probably already on their way. I mean, we're less than 3 hours away from the noon kickoff, which has Tarboro taking on Mitchell County. Number 1 Tarboro 13-1. Number 3 Mitchell County 13-2. A lot of purple in the stadium, as Brett noted last week. The 2A championship will take place at 3 o'clock at NC State. That's Shelby taking on Wallace Rose Hill. There was a scare this week with Wallace Rose Hill. They had COVID. I think it was reported on Wednesday that there were some people in the school that had COVID. They did test on Thursday, and the Duplin County Health Department decided they were clear to play. Had one player that tested positive on the final when they did the final test. And no, I don't think it was the stud running back. If he's out, they have no chance, right? If he's out, they have no chance. He has around 3,000 yards this season and 53 touchdowns, so he is the bulk of their offense. Although they've already set a single season record for rushing yards by a team, over 6,600 rushing yards and 92 touchdowns on the ground. That's over 6 rushing touchdowns a game for Wallace Rose Hill. So it's hard to ever go against Shelby, and I never will, because I've learned my lesson a couple times, and I wouldn't go against Shelby today, but that could be a good game. If they're able to run the football and run the clock, and you know, that could be a really good football game between.
And if they can do that, then they're going to keep the ball away from Shelby's offense, which is capable of big plays in the passing game, well, running game too. But so yeah,
Brett thinks Shelby blows them out.
Well, I don't know if
Wallace.
Right. I don't know if Wallace Rose Hill, if their
team.
typical game plan is to run a lot of plays and run clock. I think even though they run the ball 99 or 90% of the time, I think they score quick most of the time.
Yeah, but
I don't think they waste a lot of time. They run 12 yards a carry.
Yeah.
They usually score on pretty quick
drives.
You're right.
No, I mean, I know they probably want to use more clock today against Shelby.
They won't score that fast on Shelby. I mean, maybe once or something, break a long one, but I don't think they'll score that fast on the Golden Lions defense.
Well, the time Shelby's only given up a few big plays throughout the playoffs. One of them was late in the running game against Reidsville. Remember that? The game was 31-7, I think, late in the fourth quarter. Actually, under a minute to go, and Reidsville running back broke one for 75 yards. But that was kind of mop-up time. It would be interesting to see if Wallace Rose Hill can run the football against the Shelby defense, which has been.
I honestly think the Shelby defensive line. There's no doubt it's the strength of their team.
Yes.
But I think they're better pass rushers.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering.
Than they are run
Will that
stoppers.
running game kind of neutralize those defensive ends?
I just think they're really good pass rushers, and it just depends on how good offensive line to me that Wallace Rose Hill has, whether they can be in the game or not.
Shelby's, they get that rush off the edge and just get to quarterback so quickly. But would a running game, straight ahead power type running game, negate that? It's very possible.
Think about this: we want to pencil Shelby in because they have won 11 state titles.
Right.
Wallace Rose Hill's won 7 since '94.
Yeah, you're two of the top
7 since '94.
But these are two powerhouse programs meeting.
Yep. They're kind of used to being there too. I mean, it's been. I know some of those have been in 1A or 1AA, the bigger.
Yeah.
But hey, they still, they still won it.
Wow.
So
yeah, and I think remember '94, we sold them a little short in that game, and they beat Lincoln.
they did. They sure did. Do we know for sure this one's on Channel 18, Brett?
According to the guide,
According to the guide, it's on Channel 18 at 3 o'clock, and the other one will be Chambers and Cardinal Gibbons. That's on local TV, Channel 18 tonight at 7 o'clock. So maybe that's why ESPN didn't want to show the FCS games. They had to compete with Chambers. I mean, Chambers and Cardinal Gibbons, that's pretty much D1 football, isn't it?
Close.
There'll be a lot of D1 players in the game. This is another one, too, that the West seems to be the favorite. The West is favored in every game but the 1A. I mean, Tarborough's just got the reputation, but, I actually picked Mitchell County to win.
Yeah, I don't think Tarborough's as heavy favorite as they have been in a lot of their
but they're
1A
still
title
good.
games.
They're still good. They're going to throw athletes out there, and
But I did read that they have a lot of
I think that'll be a
freshmen and sophomores.
Do they?
This was kind of a
year that
they weren't expecting to be dominant.
It's just that the East is who did they beat in the East Finals? Who was the team that
Wasn't it? Was that Pender?
Yeah, it was.
Pender
Yes, it was. And it was pretty close, right?
Yeah,
pretty close. Yeah. Yes, and Wallace Rosehill beat Princeton, who was an undefeated 2A team. Rose beat Jacksonville, who they had already played once this year. Beat them for the second time, right? They won both those meetings.
Yeah.
And Cardinal Gibbons beat
Roseville,
the team with 5 losses. Gave them their 6th loss of the season. But Cardinal Gibbons and Chambers, I tell you, 3 years in a row, Huff has beat Chambers in the regular season. 3 years in a row now, Chambers has beat Huff in the playoffs. And I thought this might be Huff's year, and if they didn't win it this year, they had a 2-touchdown lead in the second half. And if you can't beat them, if you can't hang on to that, I don't know that you'll ever get over that hump.
That's a very,
that's got to be
heartbreaking loss.
It is. It's got to be pretty depressing. Just before we take a time out, real quick, we'll go through how they got here. It was Tarboro beating Pender 22-12, so not a lot of points by Tarboro. Mitchell beat Robbinsville 34-21. That's your 1As. Wallace Rosehill got there by beating Princeton, who was the 1 seed, 34-25. Shelby defeated East Surrey 45-13. In the 3A, Greenville Rose beat Jacksonville 35-28. Dudley defeated South Point 38-0. Cardinal Gibbons in 4A beat Roseville 36-28, 1-possession win. But that was number 20 seeded Roseville, which is amazing. And then Chambers come from behind to beat Huff 35-21. 21-7 lead, and Huff scored the last Chambers scored the last 4 touchdowns in that game. And most of them were in the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah.
I think 3 in the fourth quarter.
And that Tarboro-Pender game, the two teams combined 1 for 5 passing for 6 yards.
Lit it up in the air.
It was a touchdown for Tarboro.
It was a touchdown.
That one completion.
Yep. You know what? We've seen that so many times. Those teams that throw very little, they make it count when they do. They make it count when they throw it. We saw it firsthand with Tarboro in 2011, didn't we? The one time they threw.
They threw for a touchdown and for a big 4th down conversion.
To one of those guys that wound up being one of Butch's Buckeyes, Taquan Lewis. Was the recipient of that pass for first down in that game. There's a rundown of your state championships. What's going on today in the world of high school football? Should be a good day. I really don't hope it pours down rain. I hope they have good weather conditions and can play to their best ability, everybody. But we shall see. Butch says, seriously, it is incredible what Shelby has done over the years. I don't know that current coach well, but I did know Jim and Chris, and he's talking about Taylor and Norman and Lance Ware.
Yeah.
And heard lots about Pearlie Allen, who the stadium is named after. And, yes, I'm jealous in spite of them being a three motel town and 2 barbecue town. I don't really care about their motels, but I'm glad they got the 2 barbecue joints. I am glad they got the 2 barbecue places, and the Bridges competition keeps them on their toes, right? They're both Bridges. You got
That's
Red
right.
Bridges and Austin Bridges, and I went to 2 playoff games in Shelby. Brett was with me. We had a big crowd of people, and we got to enjoy both
So
of
how
those.
would you rate the two?
Not going to do that on the
comparison?
air. Wouldn't do that
Okay.
on the air.
Very good.
Yeah, there you go.
5-star.
To me, I'll go ahead and tell you my comparison, and other people have one. I really don't favor either. I like them both.
Right.
I like them both in their own certain way, and I'm just going to eat it to one I'm closest to. I won't go out of my way to go to one or the other. I eat it to one I'm closest to because I enjoy them both. And to me, the difference is minute anyway.
I just think it's an easier drive to get from the Bridges by the hospital to Shelby High School, for me, anyway.
It's easier for us to get in and out of, because you got to cross that 4-lane bypass over there. Makes it a little more difficult. But now, I used to work over in that area for maybe 5 years or better, and I wore Red Bridges out because it was on the hill over here. You go down the valley and back up. I'm on the hill over here. I was 2 minutes, 3 minutes away from it. At least once a week I was there. Most time more than that. So I like them both very much, and definitely wouldn't say anything negative about either one on the air. I can promise you that.
No,
There's nothing negative to say. Nothing negative to say.
They're both really good.
Yes, sir.
And they kind of
Free
fit
flow.
into that whole thing of, going to see a Shelby football game preceded by a visit to one of the Bridges.
And I'm
bars.
also real high on Lexington. I love Lexington. I love the Eastern style, and it's totally, well, not totally different, but it is different. And
What is
I
the
like
difference?
That
The
vinegar, and
vinegar?
it's a little hot, a
A
little
little
hotter
hotter.
too. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that as well. Let's take a time out. We'll come back and look at some of the bowl games and what's going on in the NFL in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Butch wants to know who's up for barbecue and eggs.
How about steak and eggs?
Well, we're on the barbecue subject this morning,
That's
barbecue
true.
and eggs. Could you eat barbecue and eggs?
I couldn't. I rarely eat barbecue, and only when I go to Bridges. But I could do some eggs.
Have you never ate Lexington barbecue?
Yes,
I thought you had
I
with
have.
me.
I have with you. Yeah.
There's a real good one down in Greenville, North Carolina, too, that that we visited a couple times when we went down for Legion baseball, and I can't remember the name of it. I'm sure somebody out there. I know Denny Hoover, who's
Was that the
sent me a
time you
message
and
about it.
you and The Rock covered Denver Post 455?
No, that was Wilson.
Wilson.
That's
right,
pretty
yeah.
good food, too.
Yeah, I forgot about Wilson.
That was Wilson, North Carolina. I tell you, that's one. I don't know how to word it without making it sound bad, but
Kind of tough, right?
and not yeah. The only thing I remember that was in Wilson, two things that they had plenty of: heat and rain.
Yeah, it's definitely the heat.
Those summer storms and
Oh,
those rain
yeah.
delays and those Legion games were
Oh boy.
lengthy. Not Lenny, but lengthy. Yeah, I was. Man, I mean, it was. Well, you know how it is anyway in eastern North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
It's bad enough in western North Carolina.
And that was in August.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How hot it is, and is right at the turn of July and August. Usually that state tournament takes you from July to August, and it was.
And of course, who could forget the 2007 tournament in Garner?
Yeah,
It topped
that's
100. It topped
ridiculous.
100
That's just
5 days in a
ridiculous.
row, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm going back to read a text from Denny Hoover that he sent me in November. Parker's Barbecue is the name of that barbecue place. You remember it, Brett? Did we go there when?
I don't remember.
Don't remember? Okay.
No, we might
Parker's
have.
Barbecue. It's very
but
good.
Yeah, I don't
Very good.
remember.
They got one. Believe it or not, then he says, now this is an old text, but he said that Parker's Barbecue, there's one in Greenville and one in Wilson. How about that?
How did you miss that when you were?
I may not have missed it. We
Yeah.
may have ate there. We were there quite a few days, so
Yeah.
I don't know why I remember going. It seemed like we just had a big group that went to the one in Greenville. And that kind of stands out a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
yep, that's more Eastern style, obviously. Barbecue. I'm kind of like Mike. It's just not all the barbecues do I really like. Do I, it is,
Yeah.
but Some of these more famous ones, though, it's it's kind of the place that you. And you know what? Every time there's an event too, and people want to do a fundraiser, I guess it's the easiest.
It's always
thing to
barbecue.
do. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I know.
Love to see a fish fry somewhere, especially
Yeah.
now that it's getting cooler.
Yeah.
Maybe getting cooler. It's probably 70 today, but
I know when
getting cooler fish fries would be good fundraisers.
Yeah, it would
too,
be. Yeah,
you know?
fish fries in the warm weather months. But yeah, and barbecue is the standard go-to for banquets and fundraisers, like you say. I know we had.
Well, I don't know what else you can do. I mean, you can't do filet mignons. And,
No.
Boston butts are pretty popular, but it's
Yeah.
basically the same thing. It's just the difference between Boston butt and barbecue is you got to go home and make it. You got to go home and cut it up, chop it up, whatever you're going to do with it.
I know.
It leaves you more work.
Yeah. When we had the Charitable Sports Hall of Fame banquet in October, Gene Banks commented he liked the barbecue that was served that night. He's from West Philly. So.
Yeah, well, he should have brought us a couple cheesesteaks.
Yeah, he should have brought some Philly cheesesteaks from West Philly.
Still, I talked to Brett about this there and then. I still want to just make a drive up there to Philly, get a cheesesteak from a couple different places.
And I want to go down on
come back.
I want to ramble on the streets of Philadelphia.
I don't know if you do or not.
Maybe not.
You won't ramble along.
Particularly in West Philly, right?
Yeah, that's not one of my goals.
Yeah.
It may be a lot. Don't let it be a life goal. Because
of course, I was alluding to the Bruce Springsteen.
I know
song.
what you were doing. Yeah, I know what you were doing, but nah, I'll pass on that.
Okay.
Especially after dark.
Well, we rambled on the streets of Pittsburgh without any problems.
A little different.
Yeah,
a little different. And I mean, every big city you got's got good and bad areas. We weren't in a bad area of Pittsburgh.
No, we went
either.
to the south side.
Yeah, we were in a good area in Pittsburgh when we were.
Yeah.
Yeah. The amazing thing about that particular trip to Pittsburgh is we had the same cab driver twice in one night. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
We got in a cab.
That's true.
He had taken us one place, and about 2 hours later, we get a cab and the same guy. That's kind of odd. Either that or he had a twin brother. And what kind of car was he driving? It was more like an Uber than it was a cab, but it was like
a Dodge Charger.
I don't really remember too many Iron Cities for me.
Ah, the Iron Cities
Yes.
coming into play there. Yeah, if you've never been to Pittsburgh, it is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, just one of the great sports towns in America.
I got to say, it's probably the best sports town I've been to.
Yeah, they believe in their black and gold there, and everything is the colored. Most things are colored. All their bridges are even the yellow that you see.
Particularly if you have a baseball series, which Brett wanted to see us Dodgers. They just turned it into kind of a street festival, don't they? I mean, everything kind of opens up and
right on the rivers too. I mean, there's over 500 bridges within the city limits, which is amazing. So it's neat. It's neat, and it's a wonderful drive if you've never been through the West Virginia mountains.
Sure.
So that adds to it well, especially if you go in the fall. Let's see. The bowl season will kick off on Friday with this barn burner, the Bahamas Bowl, featuring. I can't get any answers. Who's in the Bahamas Bowl? Mike, you want to go to the Bahamas here? Middle Tennessee and Toledo. Middle Tennessee and Toledo. ESPN. Okay, he says, on Friday, December 17th. That will be followed by, same day, Northern Illinois taking on Coastal Carolina.
Do you know a certain fact about Northern Illinois?
I know they are the Huskies. Right, Brett? They are the Huskies.
Did you also know that they were winless last year?
I did not.
They are the most. That's the biggest turnaround in college football this year.
I know more about Eastern Illinois.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Eastern Illinois had Tony Romo, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, that's right.
And
the Red Basket.
And there was somebody else. Who was the other one? Anyway, that's enough to come out of a school
Tail
like that.
Greeter Cure Bowl. That's a pretty
Tail Greeter. I've not. What's that mean?
I don't
know. The Tail Greeter Cure Bowl. Boy,
is that a name of a business? Tail Greeter, or?
I'm not going to ask what kind of business.
I'm not either. I don't want to get into that.
Butch says the Genos in Philly is off the chain. Well, you got Genos and Pats sitting on opposite corners there in Philadelphia, and then when they show them on those football games, that's what they zoom in on, one there and one here. So you get to try them both at the same time. You know, if you want to, go ahead and get one of each, and see what they're like. There was a fella I talked to about 6 months ago. Grew up, lived his whole life in Philadelphia. And he said, neither one of those are the best. They're just on TV all the time. You got to go to so-and-so. So, see, that's what you do. You ask the locals, right? And I can't remember what the name of it was, but he said they were good. But he said the best of the homegrown people is this one, So, most of the time you ask the locals, right, or see where they're going.
They know.
See where they're going. Saturday, December the 18th, the roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl. Love these. Love the
these names are funny.
The sponsors.
Yeah.
Western Kentucky. You'll want to know this one though. Western Kentucky takes on Appalachian State. That's 1 week from today, the 18th, 11 a.m. Eastern time. The roofclaim Boca Raton. So that's in Florida, Mike.
Yep. How many years in a row for App in a FBS bowl game?
Ever since they've been in.
Ever since they started, right? 7 years, 8, I don't know. It's quite a streak.
We're going to go through these just a little bit quicker. It's 9:34. The Cricket Celebration Bowl, South Carolina State taking on Jackson State. That one will be on next Saturday at noon on ABC. The New Mexico Bowl, UTEP taking on Fresno State. Honestly, I don't know about you. This is the first time I've actually sat down and looked at the bowl schedule.
Me too. I didn't look at them during that 4-hour marathon last Sunday.
So Jackson State is
I don't even know what the matchups
an
are.
FBS team. They're playing in a bowl game.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were that.
Could it be only
they were on
because
that level?
Of their famous coach?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Eddie.
What?
What's wrong with me? Ain't that right? What'd you say about the famous coach?
He talking about Deion.
Oh, I'm talking about Deion. Who does he coach?
Never mind. I'm thinking about
Jackson State.
Anyway,
Never
mind. Anyway, I'm thinking about Grambling.
You think about Grambling.
Jackson State, Deion. That may be why they are in the bowl.
That's why I think it is.
UTEP and Fresno State plays in the New Mexico Bowl Saturday at 2:15. The Independence Bowl has UAB and BYU. Battle of the Initials in that one, 3:30 on ABC. You got the Lending Tree Bowl, which is Eastern Michigan taking on Liberty. What a program Liberty's built.
Oh, yeah.
Over what, maybe an 8 to 10 year period.
But why do you guys think during this incredible coaching carousel we had that nobody tapped Hugh Freeze for one of those big-time jobs? His background, history?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. At some point, do you just put that behind and take a chance? If you're a really struggling program that's D1, why don't you just go ahead and take the chance? I mean, we've seen college basketball players get that chance over and over and over again, right?
Well, if Auburn fired Bruce Pearl today,
he'd be hired tomorrow. Well, Rick Pitino, he's got a little baggage with him.
Yeah, just a bit.
He's still winning basketball games.
Yeah.
I mean,
they all resurface if you can coach.
Butch says he's got a dear friend's son that is the starting center for Northern Illinois. A great kid. He said,
just that incredible turnaround.
You know, I love the fat kids.
Yeah.
I don't call that kid fat.
No. How about husky or stout?
He is
stocky.
He's a husky.
He is husky, yeah.
Northern Illinois.
He is a Saluki.
He's a husky.
No, Southern Illinois is a Saluki.
Yeah, I know. I got corrected last week.
Yeah.
By Brett, real quick. I had the wrong Illinois.
The wrong breed of dog.
Yeah, and you know what? There are a lot of huskies out there.
There are.
There are a few Salukis.
Not too many.
I love that.
I do too.
I love the unique names.
That's a very unique name.
That. Not sure.
My favorite name of all time, guys. Central Michigan Chippewas.
I figured it was the Rainbows.
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You're a sunny guy.
Yeah.
Now, what is the Chippewas? Is your favorite?
Chippewas. I just love that.
That's a good one.
It's either Western Michigan or Central Michigan. I can't.
Central.
Central. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
You know,
I've always liked Seminoles.
Yeah.
I just think that's.
We know Chippewas. I mean, that was you go back in American history and the settlement of Michigan and all that. Yeah, the Chippewas were I don't know. I just kind of like that.
I hear there's a push for them to change their name.
Yeah, probably.
Just kidding. Eastern Michigan and Liberty. Utah State taking on Oregon State in the Jimmy Kimmel L.A. Bowl. By
My God,
Stiefel.
a late night TV host has his own bowl game.
The Jimmy Kimmel L.A. Bowl.
You gotta love it.
Utah State and Oregon State.
I assume Jimmy will be at the game.
Yeah, better hope.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Bowl features Louisiana taking on Marshall. Louisiana just whipped App twice.
Yeah,
Beat them again.
They did.
Wasn't as bad as the first time, but wasn't
yeah,
much better.
Just a better
Was
team
not
this
much
year.
better.
Yeah, Louisiana had their number.
But says that kid I'm talking about that he is fat.
Okay, well,
I like it. Don't hold
fat
back.
is where it's at.
Don't hold back. That's right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Monday, December 20th, the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Guess where that's at, Mike?
Would be in Myrtle Beach.
Old Dominion taking on Tulsa. Tuesday, December.
It's in Conway.
Is it?
Conway.
Yeah, playing at Coastal Stadium then.
Yeah,
right?
a little bit inland, a couple miles inland,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, maybe a couple miles inland, but it's about 2 hours in rush hour traffic, right?
Yeah, you believe that.
On Labor Day especially. The Potato Bowl, Kent State taking on Wyoming. The
I like that
Tropical
bowl.
Smoothie. This is you, Mike, right here all over it. The
Tropical
Tropical
Smoothie.
Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl.
I love that bowl.
Yeah, you and Brett, y'all will be there for that.
Where is that at?
Frisco, Texas.
San Diego.
I like it even better.
Wait, that's in Texas.
Frisco?
No, it says Cafe Frisco.
Cafe Frisco.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl, and it says
San Diego.
I'm sorry. I'm reading the teams that are in it. San Diego,
San Diego State.
And Texas San Antonio. And it's in San Diego. Mine don't even show where
Mine
it is.
says it's in Frisco,
Yeah.
Texas. At
Okay,
Toyota
I'll take
Stadium.
your word for it.
Yep.
Because Frisco, Texas is right there up near Dallas.
It is.
Just north of
Suburb
Dallas.
of Dallas, yeah.
Where they actually have the 1AA, not anymore, but the FCS championship games now, right?
That's right.
In Frisco, ever since Chattanooga lost it. Let's see what else we got. That's UTSA and San Diego State. Wednesday, December.
By the way, guys, who
22nd.
coaches San Diego State? Had a good year.
Steve Fisher.
Close.
Wrong sport, right?
Brady Hope.
Brady
Former
Hope.
Michigan.
Hey, good guy.
He is.
Downright good guy.
He didn't win at Michigan, but a good guy.
Yep. Maybe got ran off a little too early
Could be.
at Michigan.
I think you're right.
Well, at least he's living in Southern California now.
Jim Harbaugh is AP Coach of the Year. First time a Michigan coach has ever won AP Coach of the Year.
With the history of their coaches.
I know, isn't that weird? I
Like
saw
Bo
that. I
Schembechler?
saw that going across the screen first
Wow.
time.
Lloyd Carr.
Lloyd Carr, yeah.
Never won it.
Yeah. Mr. Personality, Lloyd Carr.
Oh, yeah. Who will go down in infamy as the coach of record when App pulled off the biggest upset in college football history.
He was a good coach, though. I really do think he was a really good coach.
Yeah, he had some good years
he
in
did.
Michigan.
He did. The Armed Forces Bowl features Missouri and Army.
All right.
Who else? The Armed Forces Bowl.
Who-
Army will be in action today against Navy.
3 o'clock. Yeah.
Thursday, December 23rd. Here, let's go. Keep moving on. Frisco. Brett, we got another one in Frisco. The Frisco Football Classic.
Yeah.
North Texas and Miami of Ohio.
Same stadium.
Well, if you think about it, how many bowl games we got in Miami and Orlando?
Oh, yeah.
Probably
How many bowl games in
dozen.
Florida?
Yeah,
alone?
Half of them.
Half of them.
And this one's 2 6-6 teams.
2 6-6. North Texas,
Oh.
Miami of Ohio.
The Mean Green.
Biggest man to ever come out of Miami of Ohio. Biggest name football player.
No, it's has to be Big Ben.
Big Ben. That's the only one I know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can tell you Central Florida, although there are some. Don't get me wrong. They have produced some good NFL players, but I just can't think of one right off the top of my head. The Easy Post Hawaii Bowl, Memphis and Hawaii. Oh, Hawaii gets to make a trip to
Hawaii.
Yeah. Memphis will be in culture shock.
So Memphis won't be walking in Memphis. They'll be walking in Waikiki.
And they'll forget all about the Memphis Blues as well.
That's
because
right.
No blues
no
in Hawaii.
blues in Hawaii.
Hawaii 6 and 7.
Is this the first year in a while that we've had a Christmas Day bowl game? We actually have a bowl on December 25th, the Camellia Bowl, Georgia State and Ball State.
Can't wait for that one.
Can't tell you Georgia State, but David Letterman came out of Ball State.
That's true.
And
Well,
not that he played
many
football.
years ago, guys, they used to have one of the All-Star games on Christmas Day.
Blue-gray.
Blue-gray. Yeah.
Yep. I don't really care for the All-Star games, but I
neither.
did watch it because there was nothing else on.
That's right.
But there's nothing wrong with, to me, that's right in the middle of the day on Christmas Day. It's between meals.
Yeah, I remember when I was a
2:30.
kid, we'd get we'd all get, remember those electric football games that vibrated the players?
Those that never operated right.
Yeah. So we'd get those out and play them and wait for the blue-gray game.
The men run around in
Yeah,
circles.
they never would
Brad
go
don't know what we're
forward.
talking about.
I
Brad
know
don't
what
have
you're
a clue
talking
what we're
about, but
Remember they had little felt
Yep.
footballs?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you had to flip it to throw
Flip
it.
it.
It was
Yeah,
the
you had to
goofiest
flip it.
game.
And they wouldn't go forward.
Could you imagine if you took today's 12-year-olds and took their video games away and told them they had to play that, what they would think?
You got to play a football game in which the
That thing
players move through vibration on the board.
That thing was prehistoric, man.
It was.
It was so
It
bad.
was.
Yeah, and it was electric, so you're taking a chance on getting shot.
Getting electrocuted if you played it.
Shock those 12-year-olds.
Literally.
Monday,
God.
December 27th, Western Michigan and Nevada. That's the Quick Lane Bowl, Military Bowl presented by. Here's another Military Bowl. And no military team involved. Boston College and East Carolina, 2:30 p.m.
East Carolina had a good year.
Yeah, they did. They did.
7-4,
Yeah.
8 and something.
And Boston College was not bad either.
Right.
Both rewarded with a what day I'm on? December 27th bowl game. Tuesday, December 28th, Houston taking on Auburn. Now, to me, y'all aren't going to want to hear it. When you see your first SEC team in a bowl, it's kind of like you're taking a step up. Honestly, really, am I right? The next notch, because now you're going to start paying attention. I think a little more. I will pay attention to BC and East Carolina, but Houston and Auburn.
That day is when the teams, the teams that
Yep.
start playing.
Yep.
Day after Christmas. Yeah.
You got Houston taking on Auburn in Birmingham. You got Air Force taking on Louisville in the First Responder Bowl. Brett, you may have the sites. Where's that one at?
That one's in Dallas.
In Dallas. The Liberty Bowl, which I feel sure is in Memphis. Mississippi State taking on Texas Tech. Mississippi State, Texas. That's entertaining to me.
It's going to be in the 50s.
Rare matchup in the San Diego Bowl. Didn't even know these two. I did know these two were playing because I got the email from NC State. But NC State and UCLA, have they ever met in football?
Wow,
I know they met in basketball.
Oh yeah, 74. I don't think so.
And that one's
UCLA
at
and NC
the
State.
Padres Stadium.
That's a weird.
So that'll be
looking
interesting.
location
Padres
too.
Stadium, yeah.
West Virginia, Minnesota playing in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, so you know what you're going to pay for a ticket right off
guaranteed
the
rate.
Guaranteed.
Where's that at?
Phoenix.
In Phoenix, because our time will be 10:15 at night.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And that one's at
be
the
That one airs.
Diamondbacks.
I know you will.
At the Diamondback Stadium.
So using a lot of the baseball stadiums for venues for bowl games. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
The next one up, I will be interested in watching West Virginia and Minnesota. For some reason, West Virginia
Captures your imagination.
I'm infatuated with them. I want to see what they do, because every time I pick them, they lose. Every time I pick their opponent, they win. So I don't know what the deal is there. So if y'all want to win some money, watch what I do on a West Virginia game and go the other way.
One thing about West Virginia, they got a great home atmosphere, for their home games.
Mike, I want to see if you can guess where this one's going to be played.
Okay.
The Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
Wasabi.
Second word, I think, is the key.
Fenway, oh yeah.
It's not going to be played in Japan.
Basta.
SMU and Virginia. Am I right, Brett? Fenway Park in Boston.
Yeah.
11 a.m.
That's cool.
On December 29th.
Fenway
And they've
Park.
had some football games there before.
Just as they have at Yankee Stadium.
Yes, sir.
And they will again.
Well, this one would probably be it. The New Era Pinstripe Bowl.
That would be it.
It follows Maryland and Virginia Tech. Follows that. You got Fenway Park at 11. You got Yankee Stadium at 2:15.
By the way, will Butch remember this when Duke
Butch remembers
defeated
everything.
Indiana in a former Pinstripe Bowl game?
He was there.
That's right.
I got a picture of him and Greg Pound on the sideline
All right.
arguing the field goal call.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Let's see. You got the Cheez-It Bowl, Clemson and Iowa State. To me, that's a pretty good matchup.
Yeah,
Good
I think it's
matchup.
That's a
game.
good matchup.
Ohio State's had a disappointing year,
Iowa
but they
State.
Iowa State. Yeah,
No, you said Ohio. Oh,
yeah. They had a disappointing year. They were supposed to challenge for the Big 12, but
we don't want to piss Butch off by putting Ohio State
Yeah,
in the Cheez-It
Iowa State.
Bowl here right before
But
we go
that
to
should be
breakfast.
competitive. That'd be a good one.
Clemson, Iowa State. What about Iowa State's basketball win this week? Beat Iowa by the largest margin they'd ever beat them. I don't know why that came to my mind, but I remember reading that they beat Iowa by the largest margin they'd ever beat Iowa by in a basketball game. And it wasn't but 20-some. It wasn't like it was 40 or anything.
Looks like the Big 12 is going to be very strong.
Battle of the O's. Who we got? Battle of the O's, the Alamo Bowl.
Oklahoma, where the
And who are they
wind
playing?
goes rolling down the plain.
Who are they playing?
Oregon.
Oregon. Will Chip Kelly be the coach at Oregon?
I know who the Oklahoma coach will be, at least for this game. Bob Stoops.
One game. One game Bob.
One game Bob,
See?
not big game Bob anymore. One game Bob.
Why not give him the job back permanently?
I know.
I don't get it.
But they're bringing in Brent Venables. I assume he'll be there. But I think Bob officially is the coach for this game.
Lenny says Chip Kelly has been rumored as returning to Oregon. Yes, I know. That's going to be very I just go. What you got to lose? Go back where it all started.
Yeah.
And you became the legend.
The legend.
that he is. It was at Oregon. Go back and coach those kind of players.
Oregon, I just think
Recruit
Oregon
those
has a
kind of
lot
guys.
more gravitas than UCLA. He's done
Well,
a decent job at UCLA.
UCLA is going to win the basketball battles, recruiting battles in that city, and Southern Cal is going to win the football ones. So
Yeah.
that's just the way it's going to be.
Go to Oregon. Go
Yeah,
back.
Go to Oregon. Go to Oregon. That one is that's one I want to see.
Yeah.
9:15 on whatever night that is.
I just hope
Wednesday,
Caleb
December
Williams
29th.
doesn't enter the transfer portal before the game.
On
VOU
Thursday,
quarterback.
December 30th, the old Greasy Mayonnaise Bowl down in Charlotte.
All right.
North Carolina, South Carolina, 11:30 a.m. kickoff.
I hate that matchup.
Do you?
Yeah, because I mean, not that I was going to go to the game, but I think it's cool to see teams that aren't
Don't
in the
normally come
area.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
I mean,
Don't
you
normally
go watch North Carolina or South Carolina anytime.
Now,
Yeah.
both those teams are 6-6. right?
South Carolina. I'm gonna go ahead. South Carolina has absolutely no chance in this game.
Like look
They can't
right
beat
down the
North Carolina.
schedule.
No chance.
Pittsburgh and Michigan State. Now that's a game I might
That's a
would
good
be
one.
interested in.
Yeah.
but
Kenny Pickett.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
but North and South Carolina.
No.
I mean,
Even the
and
North-
they'll probably have a crowd there.
I don't know if
because,
they will or not
because of
because
that.
they were
They
both
will.
just mediocre. I think North
don't see
Carolina underachieved. They came out the
Yeah.
gates ranked number 9 in the country. That's
Yeah.
going to leave some fans out right there. It's 11:30 in the morning on a
Yeah,
Thursday.
it won't
South
happen.
Carolina, I don't know. I don't know if they'll. I don't
They
know if they'll
won't fill up the
I don't
lower
think it
Oh
will.
no,
levels.
they definitely won't fill anything
Mike
up.
says
but-
they won't fill up the lower
And it
level.
will fill up the lower.
Wow.
11:30 a.m. Like you say, North Carolina's been very disappointing.
Been better off
at
11:30 at
6-6.
night.
Although I got to tell you, Shane Beamer's done a good job in his first year at South Carolina.
Laid an egg against Clemson.
Well,
30
yeah.
to nothing.
Yeah. I
30 to
know.
nothing.
Yeah, I know.
You know what it was? 30 to nothing.
Yeah.
30 to nothing.
Yeah, but
Against the team you've got to be competitive against in order
Yeah,
to
well,
draw
they haven't been
in order to
competitive
draw
against
recruits.
Clemson in years.
That's right. That's right. The Music City Bowl features Tennessee Rogers Volunteers against the Boilermakers of Purdue. Purdue always plays spoiler, it seems like, when they play a team ranked higher. Of course, this is an even matchup.
I wonder what Roger does Roger think there'll be. I wonder what the over/under is in that game. I say a lot of points.
Butch says Dan Lanning from Georgia is going to Oregon.
Oh, is that official?
I don't know. Dan Lanning from Georgia.
Well, yeah, he's
He's
got a.
going to
He was rumored to
Oregon.
be in the Oklahoma run for coaches, but he's a
Is he the DC or the OC?
DC. He's considered one of the best defensive
defensive OCs.
Yeah,
That's a heck of a
he's
title.
considered one of the best DCs in the country. Let me get that out.
Tennessee Purdue. That game is at 3:00 on December the 30th.
Where
Michigan
at?
State Pitt. Where at? Music City Bowl,
Music City.
Nashville.
Nashville,
I would say.
of course.
Yep. Or Detroit, also Music City, but different.
That was in the
Yep.
Motown. Yeah.
The Chick-fil-A Bowl, Peach Bowl in Atlanta, Michigan State, and Pittsburgh. That is a good matchup, Brett. That's
Brett's right about that.
Yeah, that'd be an entertaining game. Wisconsin, Arizona State. For some reason, I can never get excited about the Arizona teams. I don't know why. I know Herm Edwards is out there
He is.
coaching them, and I love Herm. I think he's great, but
Yeah.
it's just hard to get excited about football in Arizona,
I'm with
and I
you.
don't know why. But I do like watching Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So this will probably draw some interest from
They got
me.
a good defense. They
probably
always hit you physical.
Friday, December 31st, the Tax Slayer Bowl, Gator Bowl, Wake Forest, Texas A&M. I don't know. I don't know. I think Texas A&M rolls.
To SEC, it's a different level.
The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, great name.
Great name.
Washington State and Miami. This has got to be the distance bowl. I don't think you can find two college teams further apart.
Pullman, Washington versus Miami.
Unless it would be Memphis and Hawaii.
Yeah, that's
that one
right.
may be a little
Yeah.
further.
That's right.
Memphis and Hawaii.
I'll
probably
say
is a
one
little
thing about
further.
the Sun Bowl, guys. That stadium
Of course,
there.
anybody in Hawaii.
Isn't that a great stadium? You got
Yes,
the
it is.
mountain. It's
It
built.
is.
It's really
Yep.
pretty.
Yep. And it doesn't matter the weather
El
conditions.
Paso.
If it's sunny, it's beautiful, and if it's snowing and icy,
Yeah,
it's
either way.
yeah.
It's just
really
a great
neat.
setting.
Yep, I agree. Washington State, Miami. For some reason, I've always enjoyed watching Washington State play football. I don't know why.
Well, they won't have the coach they started the season with because he was fired for failing to get the vaccine.
I don't care who's coaching.
I know.
Mike Leach is not there, so it really don't matter.
Yeah.
He's the man.
You're right.
Central Michigan takes on Boise State in the Arizona Bowl to see you still got Arizona football, even though it's not an Arizona
Yeah, it
team.
does nothing
a
for
little
me.
bit different there.
No.
Cincinnati taking on Alabama that night. Guess where we're at now? We're in the playoffs.
Ooh, yeah.
We're talking about the playoffs, as Jim Moore would say.
Playoffs.
Cincinnati and Alabama. That game gets underway at 3:30 on the last day of the year, Friday, December 31st, followed by Georgia and Michigan. Number 3 and number 2, Georgia and Michigan at 7:30 later on that night.
What
And,
bowl is that now?
Orange Bowl,
Orange Bowl.
and Cotton Bowl, Cincinnati, Alabama. And Orange
Right.
Bowl is the other.
Does the location favor any of those teams, you think?
Alabama.
Alabama. Okay.
Let's just go ahead and tell you. You know, one thing I meant to mention when we went on the air today, if there was ever any doubt that Nick Saban and Bill Belichick are the two best at their jobs of anybody I know of, that doubt all ended this week, didn't it?
It did. No, it removed all doubt.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Give them something, they'll win with it. Just unbelievable.
And we're kind of fortunate to be witnessing that, at the same time.
And Belichick, I mean, to do what he's done after last year with a rookie quarterback who completed 2 of 3 passes.
When is the last time an NFL team only threw
Well,
three
it was on
passes?
TV. They put the stat up there.
I
It was
know.
like in the 60s. You
It's
know,
amazing.
it's happened. But they won the game that way.
That's
And,
probably the old Bears.
And they are tremendous.
Bears.
And everybody says, it's Georgia's year. Georgia's going to get it done. Here comes the Bulldogs, and bam.
Yeah.
Alabama wins by
Took
2
them to
touchdowns,
school.
right? Took them to school. Sure did. Saturday, January the 1st, the Outback Bowl, Penn State and Arkansas.
Yeah.
2 totally different cultures here going at it.
Oh, yeah.
Penn State and Arkansas. But
When I think of Arkansas, I think of the TV program Ozark. That's what
I only think of one thing when I think of Arkansas. One person, cover of Sports Illustrated, probably in the 80s, and he's up in the air dunking a basketball.
Well, that must have been 40 minutes of hell.
Nope.
No.
It was before that. I want to see if somebody can name who that was on that cover of that Sports Illustrated.
Dunking a basketball
Yeah.
for in Arkansas.
In Arkansas.
Wow.
I may be wrong. I may be telling you a lie, but I want to see if somebody can name who I'm.
They've had some really good.
Yeah, back in the 80s, his
Yeah.
picture on the front, dunking the basketball, and I don't even know if they were winning the national title at that time or what the deal was, but this guy was a really good basketball player. out of Arkansas in his time. Iowa and Kentucky sounds like basketball to me, but it's football. 1 o'clock on ABC on Saturday, January 1st. Brett's Notre Dame Irish taking on Oklahoma State. 1 o'clock ESPN on the 1st of January. This is the biggest bowl day, obviously. Ohio State taking on Utah. Here comes an answer here.
That's in the granddaddy.
Lenny's got it. Lenny's the man. Sidney Moncrief.
You're right.
Is the guy. High-flying Sidney Moncrief.
That's right.
Yep.
High flyer.
I think I've still got that cover of that Sports Illustrated somewhere. And, yes, Lenny, it was Sidney Moncrief.
Yeah, I think of high flyers like him, and then you got Dominique Wilkins.
Roger says the same thing, Sidney Moncrief.
That's right.
So, that's funny how they remember those little things too. You know, that's
I bet that was when
did they
Eddie,
win a national title then?
No.
Or what was the deal? Why was he? I guess they were ranked number 1.
That's
at
probably
one
when
time.
Eddie Sutton was there, more than likely.
It may have been, or it may have been before him.
Yeah.
Ohio State, Utah. That game's at 5 o'clock on January 1st. The Sugar
That's
Bowl
Rose
features.
Bowl. Don't forget to
Rose
mention
Bowl.
that.
Yep. The Sugar Bowl features Ole Miss and Baylor. What a step up I thought Ole Miss took this year.
Yeah, they did.
You know?
10-2. Yeah.
Yep. If they get to where they have just halfway dominating defense, they're going to be hard to handle.
Yeah.
Very hard to
They're
handle.
just another strong team in that SEC West.
And then Tuesday, January 4th, LSU, led by Brian Kelly. I don't guess he'll coach the bowl game. I don't know.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
Well, he has to deliver his pregame speech in Cajun dialect.
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't know about that now.
No, he's going to have to.
They'll be taking on Kansas State. I always enjoy watching both of those teams, so I'll definitely be tuned in to that one. Plus, it may be just a prelude of what's to come with a Brian Kelly-led LSU team.
Now, is this the first
National Championship, real quick, is 8 o'clock. I don't want to leave this out. National Championship's 8 o'clock on January 10th.
Now, is this the year that nobody has a losing record? Everybody has 6-6, but
The only team I saw with a losing record was Hawaii. And maybe they just automatically
they probably
play.
just host that game.
And this whole schedule I saw didn't even show records.
Well,
I saw a lot of 6-6s.
There's a lot of 6-6s, but no like 5 and 7.
I didn't see any 5 and 7s.
Yeah, like we had last year.
Hawaii's 6 and 7.
Yeah, it could be that they just host the game.
Yeah, regardless of their record.
Right.
It's almost time for us to go. I did say we were going to talk about the NFL, and I got one thing I want you to tell me before we go off the air. You know, and we'll do this every couple of weeks between now and the end. If Super Bowl is decided today, the championship games, who are the two teams?
Who are the two teams in the Super Bowl? Oh,
That's the question.
Boy. Well, I know who it's going to be for me in the NFC. That's the Packers. That's my pick.
Okay.
God, AFC. Who's good? I mean, it's been so.
Lenny says he thinks Arkansas that year was in the Final Four with Duke, Kentucky, and Notre Dame, if he's not mistaken. So they did make the Final Four that year. His thinking is that they made the Final Four that year. Y'all guys don't have an answer for me.
I'm going to go with the Patriots. I know that's really on a limb.
I'm going Tampa Tom and the Patriots. Why not?
Yeah, why not? That'd be
good
great.
TV.
The highest ranked Super Bowl viewing ever.
Yeah, if that happens,
it would be.
It would be. Yeah.
And I may change my mind next week. I
It
may
could
change
happen.
mine too.
Hey,
I'm
it could
going
happen.
to stick with my pick of Chiefs and Rams, even though the Rams have been struggling lately. But that's who I picked at the beginning. I'll just stick with it for now.
Still a trendy pick.
Well, Chiefs are starting to get hot.
They are.
They're starting to play much
playing better
so,
defense.
Yep. And if they have home field advantage, they probably won't go down. You know, hey, it's why it's the NFL, most unpredictable sport there is.
That's
by
right.
Far, by far.
And that's why it's the best.
Mm-hmm.
You got complete parity almost across the board.
Well, that'll do it for another Saturday. Don't get wet today. Stay inside. It's just nasty out looking outside, isn't it?
But it's good for the grass. Remember that.
Okay.
You planted some.
I did. It needs some water. There's no doubt about that. It has been one of the driest falls
it's been
in recent memory, that's for sure. For Mike and Brad, I'm David. Thank you for tuning in this morning. See you next week.